Hello students, welcome to our channel of Nagesh Karasgi Orchid School. My name is Kajal Kulkarni and I am going to teach you all SST for grade 6. So in our last episode, we had seen about diversity, how the different languages came into existence in our country. Okay, so now today when we start, I will just show you few videos. From that you will come to know how the diversity came into existence. Okay, so I will just show you few videos.
Have you ever noticed there are so many different types of people around us, but nobody looks similar to us? This is called diversity. Diversity refers to something that is diverse. India is a country of many diversities, ranging from diverse landscapes to diverse flora and fauna. We speak different languages, eat various types of foods, celebrate different festivals, and practice different religions. In spite of so many differences, people have a feeling of oneness. Have you ever wondered why people in Rajasthan wear such bright colors and decorate their camels? This is to add color to the natural environment, which is very pale, dry due to absence of greenery and vegetation. Similarly, diversity also comes about when people adapt their lives to the geographical areas in which they live. Hence, we can say that diversity enriches our life as well as our country.
Okay, I will play it once again.
Have you ever noticed there are so many different types of people around us, but nobody looks similar to us? This is called diversity. Diversity refers to something that is diverse. India is a country of many diversities, ranging from diverse landscapes to diverse flora and fauna. We speak different languages, eat various types of foods, celebrate different festivals, and practice different religions. In spite of so many differences, people have a feeling of oneness. Have you ever wondered why people in Rajasthan wear such bright colors and decorate their camels? This is to add color to the natural environment, which is very pale, dry due to absence of greenery and vegetation. Similarly, diversity also comes about when people adapt their lives to the geographical areas in which they live. Hence, we can say that diversity enriches our life as well as our country.
Okay, now as you all have seen in this video that there are so many different languages, so many different types of people. You will find variety of food. Yes, one example was given about Rajasthan, why they wear so colorful dresses, because Rajasthan is a desert where it is all pale. See, the color of the sand is pale. Yes, so everything looks pale. It is like colorless. So the people of Rajasthan, they wear all colorful costumes. Okay. Then you all have seen about the color of those children were shown. The color, few were very dark, few were very fair, few were medium. So how they were all different. See, if we are in same state, Maharashtra, but still we all look different. We all being in Maharashtra, we all talk different languages. Are we all speaking only in Marathi? No, we talk in different languages, right, in our own mother tongue. So there is a lot of diversity in India. Now we will see with the, I will just revise once. Shall we start? We had seen about social and political life, right? Diversity means the different languages, various types of foods, different festivals and religions, right? So India is having so many different religions, so many festivals are celebrated here, and it is not that the festival is celebrated by that same religion people. It is celebrated by everyone. Now if we talk about Ganesh Chaturthi is mostly, it is like celebrated in Maharashtra, but if you will see nowadays Ganesh Chaturthi is celebrated in India, you may say all over in India, but in Maharashtra at a very huge scale. Okay, so this is what the people being of any religion or caste or creed, they celebrate or they become a part of one, they unite and they become a part of one country. Okay. Then next we had seen about the food, the festivals, the religions and the colors. Then we had seen about diversity, how the people were migrating and for what reason they were migrating from one place to another, and how they were traveling. They were traveling on horses, camels, or you may say they were using animals or ships to travel from one place to another, as there were no cars, buses, trains, aeroplanes, etc. to travel. Okay. And the reason for traveling was, one was for settling at that place, the second we had seen to trade in the place, or from escaping from any natural disasters, like I had given the example of floods. Then for the sake of earning, to work at the place and to be safe from the consequences of the war. Now we had seen that the people, they were settling down in a new place and they were accepting or they were taking over whatever whatever they were finding in that place. What new things they were coming across, they were all accepting and taking it as a part of their living. So in this way the diversity started increasing. Then we had seen about the historical and geographical factors that were affecting the region. The eating. Now if we talk about eating and clothing habits, the people living in a very hot region, will they wear sweaters and sit? No, they will definitely wear something very light, some cotton clothes. And if a person is living in a very cold region, so will that person survive wearing just a cotton loose clothes? No, definitely they require something very warm, right? So now we were going to see about Ladakh and Kerala. Shall we start? Okay. First thing, Ladakh. See where Ladakh is situated in our map. Where it is? Yes, it is towards north. It is towards north, in the north direction. Can you see Ladakh here? So now can you imagine how the atmosphere will be or what the climatic condition of that place will be? Yes, correct. It is very cold there. See, Ladakh region is surrounded by world's highest mountain ranges, Karakoram in the north and the great Himalayas in south. See, towards north they are having the mountain ranges and they are the highest, world's highest mountain ranges, that is Karakoram, and towards south is Himalayas. So now just imagine how cold it must be. But it is said that Ladakh is a desert. Now you will tell that teacher, you are telling it is very cold there, and how Ladakh is a desert? So Ladakh is a cold desert. It is similar, like it is all covered with sand, but it is very cold there. Why it is cold? Due to the highest mountain ranges, the Himalayas, which are always covered with the snow. Now, Ladakh is a desert in the mountains in the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. Very little agriculture is possible here since this region does not receive any rain and is covered in snow for a large part of the year. There are very few trees that can grow in the region. Now, it is in the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, can you see again this picture? This is Jammu and Kashmir, and towards east, that is in this part, it is Ladakh. So now Ladakh is in the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. It is a desert, but it is known as a cold desert. It is all covered with sand, but due to the mountains, the Himalayas in the south and the Karakoram in the north, due to these mountains, they are always covered with snow. The area in this region are very cold. Now, because it is all covered with snow, as you all have already learned in your 5th standard about the Greenland, as it was all covered by snow, there is no vegetation, no agriculture. The people cannot do agriculture in this region. It is all covered with snow and it is all sand there, right? So, due to this, the people living here, they cannot grow anything. So, how they will survive then? If they cannot grow anything, then how will they survive? Yes, what do? They keep sheep, yak and goat, and because there are no vegetations there, the people mostly eat the meat and milk products. Now, milk products mean if they are having sheep, goat, yaks, what do? They milk the goat and sheep, and they use that milk to prepare cheese, and that thing they eat. So, milk products and meat is used by the people of Ladakh to survive. Now, it is all covered with ice and it is a desert, so there is very little rainfall. See, there are very few trees and can grow, and that cannot grow in the region. Now, because it is a desert, there is very little rainfall. So, what people do, how they will drink water, from where will they get water? So, to drink water, they depend on the melting snow, which is during the summer months. Now, see, if you will say that teacher, only in summer months the snow can melt, then remaining months what will they do? You all will definitely ask this question. So, the remaining months they melt the snow and they use that for drinking water. So, imagine the people living there, they have to survive eating the meat and the milk products and just for drinking water they have to depend on the snow. Okay. So, in our first slide we had seen that Ladakh is a desert in the mountains in the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. Very little agriculture is possible here since this region does not receive any rain. See, there is no rain here and is covered in snow for a large part of the year. There are very few trees that can grow in the region. Why? Because there are no rains. Okay. Then for drinking water, people depend on the melting snow during the summer months. Sheep of this region has special fur, so people keep them and produce Pashmina wool, which is sold to the traders from Kashmir. Here people eat meat and milk products. Now see, as I told, the people are keeping sheep, goats, okay. So they eat the meat, but the skin which is left out, that is used for their clothes. And the sheep which is found in Ladakh, it has a lot of fur on its body. So that fur is used for making wool. Now they are not making the wool. What they are doing, the people of Ladakh, they remove the fur of the sheep and that wool is sent to Jammu and Kashmir. It is traded to Jammu and Kashmir. It is sent to Jammu and Kashmir, and there in Jammu Kashmir you will find a very famous shawl which is sold at very high rate, that is Pashmina shawl. The wool name is also Pashmina wool. Now this Pashmina shawl is made in Kashmir, and from Kashmir this shawl is sold to all over the country. Okay, when the people they go for means you may say just for exploring, means just for sake of enjoyment, people going to Jammu and Kashmir, they do some shopping. So what do mostly we find there? The Pashmina shawls, which are very famous for in Kashmir. Okay, so this Pashmina wool is made in Ladakh, means it is removed from the sheep and that is sent to Kashmir, and after processing they prepare this Pashmina shawl. Now each family has sheep, goats and yak. As I told you all, each and every family they have this. Why do they have the sheep, goats and yak? Because there is no other source of income there, right? So the sheep which they keep, the hair, the fur which they remove, that is being sold to Kashmir, and that wool is then processed and made the shawls. Then the goats and yaks, for the milk for milk products, they use the milk and means for surviving, for eating, they eat the cheese of that milk. Then the goats, they cut and eat the meat of that goats. Okay, so the people they survive using their own what is kept at home. Then Ladakh was considered good trade route as it had many passes through which caravans travelled to what is today called Tibet. Now Ladakh, from Ladakh the people used to move to Tibet. So because of that, the trade, it was a trade route. So trading was done in Ladakh. So how they were doing? They were using the route, means if I want to go from Sholapur to Mumbai, if I want to go, I will take one route, right? So that route is the trading route. So the people from Ladakh moving to Tibet, they used to go from Ladakh. So because of that, Ladakh is also known as a Little Tibet. It is called as Little Tibet also. Okay, so people used to move from Ladakh for the sake of to Tibet for the sake of trading. Now Buddhism reached Tibet via Ladakh. Ladakh is also called Little Tibet. Islam was introduced in this region more than 400 years ago. Now Buddhism, see in Tibet, you all must have seen the people of Tibet, they wear those red gown type, yes, and they pray to Lord Buddha. So that Buddhism, it reached to Tibet via Ladakh. As I told that to move to go means go to Tibet, it was the route was taken from Ladakh. So because of that it is also called as Little Tibet, okay. And in Ladakh you will find Islam, the people of Islam around 400, means they were found more than 400 years ago. So now in Ladakh you will find the Islamic people also. Ladakh has a very rich oral tradition of songs and poems. Its national epic, the Kesar Saga, are performed and sung by both Muslims and Buddhists. See, Ladakh, it is famous, very much famous for their songs. People there, they sing the songs, and these songs, these poems, the epic, the main is the Kesar Saga. Means it is, Kesar Saga means it is a, you may say, book or bundle or bunch of songs where they keep on singing those songs and poems. Okay. So this Kesar Saga is not only sung by Buddhists, but even the Muslims sing these poems and songs. Now we will see the climatic condition of Ladakh. See, this is the image. Can you see Ladakh? See the hills, mountains, and in this picture you can see snow here, right? So Ladakh region has very low rainfall. It is covered with snow for a greater part of the year. People of Ladakh depend on snow for drinking water, as the same point I have explained you all in the previous slide. Can you see this, the picture of Ladakh? See, all these mountains are covered with snow, and it is always covered with snow, and it is sandy region, okay. See this, the cold desert of Ladakh. See the mountains. See the camels are moving on the sand. Yes. So this is Ladakh. See the clothes the people wearing in Ladakh. Cotton and light woolens in summer. See, they are still, wool is still worn even in summer, and heavy woolens including down-filled windproof upper garments are worn in winter. Means in winter they are having heavy woolens, means heavy wool is worn to protect themselves from cold. See the picture of the costumes, that means the clothes that they are wearing. Will we wear such kind of clothes? No. This is the tradition or culture of the people living in Ladakh, and this is what I told you all, the maroon ground type. This is the Tibetan. Okay. Next, the food of Ladakh. See, they are having momos, simple food, no oil, nothing, no spices. Can you see? So this is what the food of Ladakh. Next, now we will talk about Kerala. Kerala is a state in the southwest corner of India. Can you see Kerala here? This is the map of India. It is towards south, and see, so small part. Here it is Kerala, this red part. Okay. Can you see this one side is surrounded by water body, that is, it is one side is having seashore, and the other side, that is towards the east, there are mountains. So Kerala is a state in the southwest corner of India. This is south, and this is west here. So, southwest direction there is Kerala, but Kerala itself towards west it is all water body here, and towards east is mountains. So, we will see about Kerala now. Okay. Kerala is a state in the southwest corner of India. It is surrounded by the sea on one side and hills on the other. Various spices like pepper, cloves and cardamoms are grown on the hills. This made the region an attractive place for traders. Now, Kerala, as you can see, towards west it is all surrounded with water, and in east, towards east it is all hills. So, one side as it is all hills, you will find, means the various types of spices are grown there, and which are those spices? Pepper, cloves and cardamoms. Pepper means kali mirch, clove means lavang, and cardamom means ilaichi. Okay? So, these spices are grown there, and these spices are sold, or you may say they are exported to other countries also. And because of this, as we had learned, you all must have, if you all remember, that Vasco da Gama had come to Kochi, right? So, this is the place where we will see in our next slide. See, I will show you the image of that first. Here, the historical background of Kerala. Vasco da Gama, he was the first to reach Calicut, right? The port of Calicut. So, he started trading. He was the first and he started trading in Kerala. So, what was the speciality of Kerala? The peppers, means the spices were grown there. So, these spices were exported to other countries. Okay. Then towards west, as you all know, that it is covered with water. So, the people living near the seashore or near the coast, they have the fishing, they do the fishing. So, the people living in Kerala, you will find that they eat the sea food also. Okay. Now, next, the Jewish and Arab traders were the first to come here. Saint Thomas is believed to have come here nearly 2000 years ago, and he is credited with bringing Christianity to India. Now, see, this is about when Jesus Christ were alive. So, during that time, Saint Thomas, he was the one who, means it is believed that he is the one who introduced Christianity. He brought Christianity in India. I will show the image. See this. Saint Thomas, he is the founder of Christianity in India. He had come to Kerala to spread Christianity. He preached Christianity to the people of Malabar, and later he moved to Madras. He established 7 churches in different parts of Kerala. See, so if you will see in Kerala, you will find many different religions in Kerala. You will find Christian people there, you will find Muslims there, you will find Hindus there, you will find Jewish there. Okay. So many religions are found in one state. In one state you will find so many religions. So, in Kerala, the main, as I told you all, that the Jewish and the Arab, they came to Kerala. How did they come? See, if you will see the picture here, it is the seaport here, right? As it is covered with, one side is covered with water body, they traveled through the sea route and they landed here in the port of Calicut, as Vasco da Gama also came to Calicut. He was the one who started trading in India. So, this Arab and Jewish people, they started trading in India. Portuguese discovered the sea route to India from Europe when Vasco da Gama landed with his ship here. Now, even Portuguese, they came to know the sea route. He was the first to find the sea route to India. So, he was the one who started with the trading in India. Okay. So, we will stop here, and in our next session, we will see more points about Kerala. Till then, thank you.